What's good, everybody? Robin E. here, back on another episode of Pillow Talk. First off, I just want to appreciate y'all for rocking out with me. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back, and I have an amazing interview for y'all today. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
My name is Kandance Jackson, and I am the vegan goddess.
Vegan goddess. Definitely that. So I'm super excited to have you on the show.
Well, thanks.
You've been doing your thing. I actually met you at the millennial event that we were both invited to do.
Yep.
And I wanted to know more about what you were talking about, but we ran out of time with all that was going on with that. But I wanted to really know more about you because I don't know a lot about veganism or anything like that. Okay. But I would be interested to know, like your upbringing and stuff before the vegan lifestyle
came along.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so, man, where do you want to start at? I grew up pretty normal, I guess, like every other kid. Mm-hmm. Single mom, living day to day, going to school. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everything was pretty normal, I guess. I don't really see a difference between me and like anyone else,
right?
When it comes to like how the upbringing came about. Mm-hmm. Basically, like nothing like too interesting, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So yeah, just average. Nothing major. Church girl and stuff like that.
What was your favorite food when you was growing up?
Chicken. Chicken all the time, anything. So it's like every time I was like having anything to eat, it was chicken everything. Chicken sandwiches, chicken strips, chicken nuggets, chicken all the time. That and like fried catfish.
Oh yeah, I love me some catfish. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay, so chicken. So what do you think was like a turning point or something for you when you felt like, I don't want no chicken no more? Did you not really get into vegan until you got older? Or
so it was about it'll be 4 years ago in February.
Oh, okay.
So it basically started with I was sitting down with my husband eating, and I was having shrimp, and it was two things. The shrimp was rubbery. And I was just like done. And what went through my mind while I was sitting there was like, I just had like chicken not too long ago, and then here I am having this shrimp, and I just didn't feel satisfied. And I was just like, okay, I don't think I want to do this anymore. So I started doing research, looking into things, and then there is I don't know if they still do, but there was like a plant-based chef around here who was like delivering meals, and I started with them. But then I started to notice that what they were doing, I could do at home myself. And then there was some things that I liked a little different.
Okay.
Than what I was actually like buying based on preference. So I was just like, okay, let me figure this out. So as I started to YouTube, read, research, all of that, it was like I was a starchitarian for maybe about a month or two, and I was like, okay, this is not gonna work. Starchitarian, like rice, potatoes.
Okay. Go ahead and enlighten us.
Yeah. I gotta, they got with all the starch, because that was like the easiest thing because I was in the process of learning, but I just refused to go back to meat.
Right.
And cheese and dairy and everything. So then I took it slow by saying, okay, I'm gonna take a month and get rid of certain things and replace it. And then at that time, I started to teach myself how to cook. And then it got to a point where I was like, okay. So I figured February 1st, 4 years ago, I was just going to cut it out. Got to the end of February, and I was like, okay, let's see. So I just kept going. So then it went to March, and then April, and then by the time May came around, I was like, man, it's been about like 3 to 4 months, and I haven't had any like meat or dairy.
Wow.
Or anything.
Wow.
It's all been plant-based. It's official.
Damn. That's hard as hell. That's so hard to me. But that really, but you were at that point though. Like
I was at that point. Now this type of transition was a year prior to actually my 4 years starting. Okay. Where it was like the back and forth. But then, because I started in February the prior year, and then it was like the first time it was like full on. I just like never went back. So I'm never going back.
Damn, that's a lot of willpower.
You know what?
That's a lot of willpower.
I literally had some girlfriends of mine who told me that because currently my husband is looking into it. So like
checking it out.
So like right now, he's deciding that he may do it for a week, to like test it out and see how he feels. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna hook it up, whatever you want.
Yeah.
I got you. You know what I mean? Philly cheese steak, whatever. You know what I mean?
So you don't have a problem cooking meat? Either?
I don't know, because if he ever asks me to like make what I used to do, sometimes people will ask me, well, how do you know if it tastes good? So what I'll do is before I even put like the spices and everything on whatever the meat item is, I'll just taste the spice first.
Okay.
Because whatever the food is going to taste like, it's going to taste like whatever spice you put on it. So if I'm putting everything in a bowl and I'm mixing the spices up first and taste that, I'll know what the meat tastes like without even touching it. You can smell it, you can look at it and tell when the meat's done. And then of course I'll have him come and try it to make sure that it's to his liking, and then most of the time I'll be right on.
Damn, that's hard.
It's a trick of the trade.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's like you. At first, when I first did it, I was a little unsure. But then it was like, well, I mean, I used to make this all the time anyway, so I'm like, just gonna go.
Okay. So what was the hardest thing to cut out besides like meat? The dairy?
The cheese.
The cheese?
Yeah. Okay. And that's everybody's like go-to is cheese. I love me some cheese. But then it was like when I would look around for vegan options of something quick before I got a little more advanced in cooking and everything, cheese and chicken is in everything.
Facts.
I mean, you can even go to like the store, and this is the odd part. Like, you can go in the store and you got to pay attention, because if you buy vegetable broth, sometimes there is like chicken or like dairy or something like that in vegetable broth or stock rather.
Yeah,
I believe it's
stock.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, wow. So got to make my own or buy the brands that actually produce vegan options. So I think Pacific is one that's in Jewel, and it's also in, I believe it's in Walmart, and a few other stores around here where they have vegan vegetable broth, which is what I like to use, or mushroom broth. Mushroom broth is my absolute favorite. Yep. It's just all mushrooms in a broth.
Okay, that's what's up. Yep. Do you have like a vegan inspiration or somebody that you kind of look to when it comes to the vegan lifestyle?
Yeah, I do actually. Okay, so the guy, his name is, oh man, please forgive me, because like I don't know, I forget his first and last name, but I know his name on YouTube though. Okay. So his name on YouTube is Avant-Garde Vegan. And he is an actual like vegan chef. I think he started in the kitchen, and then he basically have been on YouTube for like the longest. I just like binge watch his videos and stuff like that just to see. But he's like over in the UK over there, so sometimes they cook things a little different. Like he grew up on recipes a little different. You know what I mean? Okay. And in terms of and going back to the upbringing, right? Our upbringing, I think, was a tad of a twist to it, because normally people will be like, well, my mom used to make like bacon, egg, and cheese, you know, or something like that. And I would be like, well, my mom used to make like salmon croquette, eggs, and rice for us for breakfast sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or she would make like all different kinds of stuff, you know, that the average person, I don't think would eat, but it was just things that she just liked to eat. Right. So it was just like any time of the day we were eating that, and then that actually became a memory for us growing up. But yes, Avant-Garde Vegan is like my favorite dude. Okay. He got like knife skill videos on how to like properly cut and everything. So I'm,
You trying to get your skills up.
Trying to get your skills up. I mean, I would love my cuts to be nice. You know what I mean? But then, you know who else I watch? And this is going to seem odd because he's not vegan.
Okay.
But it's all about the technique. Gordon Ramsay.
Now, that's a bad man, though. I watch Gordon Ramsay. That's a bad man right there.
I have to watch him because of his passion, how he talks about the food. Because that's how I feel about the way you get the nostalgia when you're eating the vegan food that I would actually make. You know what I mean? Sometimes I like those everyday staples. So I like the spaghetti, the chicken, the mac and cheese, the cornbread, the greens kind of scenario if I want that. Okay. And now I've perfected it and mastered it in a way where I can do all of those things vegan style. So I take it there. Yeah. You know, I had a moment where I wanted a strawberry shake. Oh, what you supposed to do with that? Frozen strawberries, vegan vanilla ice cream, a little bit of almond milk in there, a little bit of agave, blend it up, and you got your strawberry shake. Easy work. You know what I mean? But it's just a matter of, you know, replacing the ingredients like we had talked about prior. It's replacing the ingredients and basically just knowing some things, like when it gets to the meat options, which is people's go-to, like we talked about, that's where the trick happens. And I hear a lot of people say, it's mental, it's mental. Yes, it is. Because as we witnessed prior to the start of the video,
we had a moment real quick. We had a moment.
Somebody didn't know if he wanted to grab a piece of, you know, this vegan mushroom or not. And I'm like, what are you scared of? You know what I mean? So yes, it's definitely mental. But back to the answer. Oh my God, vegan is my favorite. You know, told you I could go.
That's what's up. I like that though. That's what's up. Make sure that people see your face.
Yeah, my bad.
Because I want them to see you. You know, You know. We in there. Yes, want them to see you. Okay, cool. So we was talking before too about how I think with the Black vegan wave is like amazing right now on the wave, and it goes back to a lot with like just the upbringing and how we do have all these traditions that our family passes down to us. And for some reason I feel like Black people are so resistant, and we're so resistant, me included. I'm so resistant to letting go of things that I know that are comforting foods and stuff like that. Why do you feel like we are like that so much? Is it, you know?
The reason why I feel like Black people in general have a hard time letting go or switching up is because they have a romantic they have a romantic relationship with food, because this is where it gets like really deep, right? Africans in general, Africans of the diaspora, we're all spiritual people in general, right? And what I also learned over the years, because I did a lot of studying, food has a lot to do with culture. So some people feel like if they're not eating their grandmother's chicken, they losing her. They feel like if they're not eating the grits that their mom used to make, they're losing her. You know what I mean? Not considering the fact that what they did was what they did in their time. Right. But what's going on in your environment today? You know what I mean? You know, it's like you're not losing them. If anything, you're probably taking what they're doing and making it better for you. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Not to say what they did was bad or anything like that, but yes, it is a cultural, romantic relationship that Black people have with their food, because it always brings back memories of who they used to hang with when they used to eat these meals and sit down and eat these meals, right? So a lot of times they don't want to let that go because they don't want to let that person go here or transition, you know. So that's the reason why it's so hard. Other people, it's just mental. They don't want to let it go, you know. I actually call it being comfortable in your dysfunction. You know, you're comfortable with like well, now you're like comfortable with like sitting there. You're comfortable with you know, just how things are because nothing's shaking you.
Right.
So you're okay with just being what it is, instead of doing better or making things better for yourself. You know what I mean? Not looking to a newer you.
Yeah.
No shade on anyone who chooses not to do this.
Facts.
But you got to look at all options because you got to consider the fact that, you know, your mom has high blood pressure, so you might have it too.
Okay.
Your mom or your dad may have like diabetes, so you probably have it too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because it's not the fact that it runs through the blood. This is what I tell people all the time. People always hear the scenario of it's the foods that are brought down from generation to generation. That's the reason why diseases are created that way. So it's not that it's hereditary. It's that the food, it has been passed down, right? Well, I always think about it like this too. Here's a different twist to it. So when you go into the doctor and they're asking you about your mom and your dad and what did they have a history of, most likely they're anticipating the fact that you would have that too because of these habits. So but the thing is, with black people, we're not putting two and two together.
We're not.
Everything is connected.
We're not.
You know what I mean? That's why the doctor is always asking you, hey, what did your mom have? What did your dad have? Because instantly off top, they're probably like writing down any type of medicine they can throw at you with those type of symptoms. Like we have the same symptoms for different things. You know what I mean? Your stomach could hurt because you ate too much, but your stomach could hurt because you ate the wrong thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So how is a doctor, based off of looking at you, able to tell the difference? So they ask more questions, and they look at the history of your parents, and then they decide on what synthetic type of medication they can give you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's all connected. But overall, to answer your question, it's a romantic relationship that people have with their food because it reminds them most of the time of their family member, because the conversation starts with, I remember when mom used to make us. I remember it'd be Saturday morning and we used to get up and eat cereal. You know, my favorite cereal used to be blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You know, but now they have it in a vegan form where you can eat it and still have that nostalgia, but then it's something that's a lot healthier and not detrimental to the body.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the reason why I feel like most won't let it go. Others are just comfortable in their dysfunction. They don't know any better. They like where they are until it gets bad. And then they want to run for the natural when it's too late.
Right.
And I actually talked about that on a Facebook Live not too long ago. It was like, why do you wait? The whole point of you being at home and in your kitchen is for preventative care. You don't wait to go to the doctor to do preventative care. You do preventative care at home in your kitchen first. That's the whole point of taking a shower, brushing your teeth every day, brushing your hair. It's so that you don't get tanglements in your hair and lice in your hair,
rashes and stuff,
and rashes on your body, or gingivitis in your teeth. So why are you not doing that with your insides, with your food as well? You know what I mean? Preventative measure for the great appearance on the outside, but all messed up, dark black, boo-boo in the stomach on the inside. You know what I mean? Like, preventative measure is in and out. And if you start within, you have a better outcome. Yeah. To where your underarms are not musty as much. You know, for women, not to be too graphic with it, but women don't have cramps when they have menstrual cycles or discharge even, or even foul smells. You know what I mean? For anybody, your feet don't stink, your breath don't stink. Wow. You know what I mean? Okay. It's a lot of changes that happen because you don't have so much waste and things like that sitting in the body. So you're actually doing preventative measures in the body. Do it on the outside, do it on the inside too.
Facts. I definitely feel like, a lot of that has to do with black people being oblivious to the whole situation. Yeah, we don't want to know. We don't want to accept. And even when we do know, usually it's too late, or we are comfortable in the way that we are. But talking about traditions, that's a deep point. And I feel like the younger generation, you know, we don't even I still have a lot of my morals, whatever. But I feel like now, you know, you don't need to refer back to this food to keep this relationship. Start a new tradition within your family. You know, start a new cycle so that hereditary disease can stop. Like that's big facts. Because like my granny, Alabama, chitlins, pig feet. She wanted those, and she still eats it. But I've never eaten chitlins a day in my life.
Yep, I used to have chitlins.
I've never
with hot sauce.
Baby, no baby. I've never.
Yeah, even after they told me what it was, I was like,
I still couldn't do it. But I feel you. Like, I'm happy. Like, right, that chain was broken. My father didn't eat pork, so he never cooked it, as far as I know, growing up.
Right.
So I don't like pork chops or rib tips or pepperoni, just little things that remind me of that. But yeah, it's like breaking that cycle. Like, that was deep. That was real deep. I like that. That was real deep.
Because then you end up having a better relationship with your life in general. You know what I mean when I say that? So it's like other kids around you where their parents didn't stop a type of tradition, like with pork. You know what I mean? So they're having junior diabetes, or they're having, all kinds of issues with backed up things because pigs don't sweat. So anything that you put in front of them, they'll eat it. You could put a human carcass, you can put lettuce, anything in front of the pig. You can put the pig in water, or you could put the pig in mud, and it'll swivel around in it to clean the outside because it doesn't sweat. So it has to clean itself in whatever environment it's in. You know what I mean? And then they cut cancerous things off of the pork and everything like that. And then next thing you know, it's like off to the market and everything, and now it's in you. You know? And then you wonder why you having so many issues and growths within the body and stuff like that, because it was growth within the thing you ate. You know? The one saying that I do like the most is when vegans would put out there, or plant-based eaters would put out there, don't treat your body like a grave. And that's so true, because I feel as though humans in general make a lot of things so complicated, and we are complicated, but the simple things we do can basically change life to make it more simple, if that makes sense. Okay. When I say that. Okay. So just to go a little further with it, it's like we make things complicated because we're eating meat, we're eating all types of like just milk and cheese, which is like mucus and pus from the cow, with a bunch of bacteria in it. You know what I mean? We're making things complicated. Okay. When we can simply eat a cantaloupe, an organic cantaloupe, which has 97% water, and your body is made mostly of water. So essentially what you're doing is you're eating your water by eating the cantaloupe because you're hydrating the body. Now, do you see how you have the complicated because you're making it complicated versus the simple? It's like common sense, you know what I mean? Or you would think that it could be considered common sense, but as my mom said, common sense ain't that common. But on top of that, again, no judgment or shade on anyone, but whenever someone hears about my lifestyle, it's like an instant red flag. And I'm like, it's a lot more simple than you think it is. You're just making it complicated.
So what's like grocery shopping for you? Because I feel like a lot of people always bring up it costs more to eat healthy.
Yes. Okay. So it depends on what you're doing. Okay. So, of course, it's going to be more money if I'm feeding more people. Okay. That's the obvious, right? But for me and my daughter, $150 to $200 would last us 2 weeks. Okay. And we're good to go off of that. We would do mushrooms. Now, stop me if it's something that you don't know. Okay. So we do mushrooms, chayote squash, which is a Mexican squash. It looks like a pear. Okay. We do butternut squash, kabocha squash, which are green squashes. We do fonio, kamut, spelt. What's spelt? So kamut.
Because people don't know. So you might have
no problem. So you have spelt and kamut, which are African grains. Okay. They are grains that does not compromise the body in terms of hydration, the water. So these are grains that you can actually eat a lot of, and it doesn't
like dry
produce starch. Yeah,
okay.
because starch, because normally when you have regular pasta and it's like bleached white flour and stuff like that, something processed, it starts to strip the moisture out of your bloodstream. And then you start to have complications because your blood's not flowing properly. And then next thing you know, with not proper blood flow throughout the body, you start to have inflammation because something's got to flow through in order to continue to provide energy to whatever part of your body it is. And as soon as blood flow slows down, it starts to swell up. That's inflammation. So what you want to do is to be able to provide your body with nutrients that it needs so that you're getting the energy that you need, and at the same time, your body's able to function properly. So yes, so the spelt and the kamut are African grains. Fonio is a African grain as well. It like cooks like couscous a little bit, but it's like a rice replacement. You can actually do it two ways, which is actually going to be at the event next week. You can cook it as what is it called? Grits. Or you can cook it, or porridge per se. Or you can cook it as like a rice replacement. So it's one or the other. Burro bananas, which are, when they're green, they're like potatoes. So that's getting rid of the starch and the rice, right? And not compromising the body, but at the same time, you're still having the texture of everything you've been already used to your entire life. But but it's good. It's good for you. But then burro bananas are high in potassium, which is good for the gut. Magnesium, which is good for the brain, gets rid of headaches. It's high in iron, which a lot of women claim they have problems with.
Iron deficiency.
So yeah, all of these foods not only are good and they give me the remembrance of what I used to eat, but at the same time, they're providing me with so much that I don't look sick, because vegans have this perception that we're losing weight, we're looking sick, things of that nature. But most of my diet is usually fresh produce. Fresh grains or dry grains.
Do you go shop at the same stores that you went to prior to going vegan, or do you go now a little more out the way to make sure that you are getting the right stuff?
So I do not go to Walmart at all.
Oh, wow.
Because there is, unless I'm going in there for oil, for sesame seed oil. Other than that, Walmart.
No Walmart.
No. They may have frozen fruit that I'll go grab real quick. Or they may have the sesame seed oil that I use, but I do not use their produce at all.
They spray theirs, don't they?
I don't know what they do, but it's no good. As someone who eats it all the time, you know what I mean? You can tell the difference. You can even tell the difference based off of how much water you drink, which waters are the best waters and which ones aren't. So, Walmart is a no. Jewel is a second no. Whole Foods is also a no. I don't like their produce either. So locally around here, I go to Woodman's for their produce. They're the only ones that seem to have like the fresh organic cantaloupe that I absolutely love.
You don't like any of the Mexican stores around here?
Yeah, so there's one in Mundaline.
They got some good produce.
Yeah, they do. But around here locally, close here, off of like Grand Avenue, their produce goes bad very quickly. So I'll go to Woodman's for my one-stop shop for most of my stuff. And then I'll go to Garden Fresh, which is an international store in Mundaline. And I'll get the burro bananas. Then they have key limes, which have seeds in them. Oranges, which have seeds in them. And then I'll get the oyster mushrooms from there because they have it in nice big bulk there. So yes, I do shop at multiple stores because they all have something specific that I like. I've even had thoughts about just opening a store with just all the things that I like in one spot. But for now, it's Woodman's most of the time. Whole Foods would be second, and then Garden Fresh is for like the few things that I go in there and grab. But yeah, $150 to $200 every 2 weeks. And then even when it gets to that 2 week mark, I might just have to go back for something that's like to add to something else.
Okay.
Because I still got food left over.
Okay. Because you were saying, too, like, your husband's trying out the vegan life. Yeah. He's not really in the mix or whatever. Not that much. That's crazy to me. So do you feel like, you know, you persuade him sometimes, like, oh, this is bad for you and this? Because I remember when we had the millennial event, you were talking about how long meat sits in your system and
yes,
stuff.
girl, 3 days.
And when you said that, you fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You fucked me up when you said that, because I did not know that. But I'm like, damn, it must be hard to be, you know, for him, really. I mean, for you like, I'm doing my shit. I don't know what you're talking about, because I know what's going in my body. But for him, I would be really conflicted. Like, damn, my wife telling me all this shit, but here I am, still eating burgers, still eating, you know what I'm saying? Like, do y'all ever, like, get into it about that at all? No.
Mm-mm. Because when I am eating whatever it is I'm eating, what he'll do is eat my food as his sides.
Okay.
And then he'll throw his little chicken in the oven or something like that, or his little fish in the oven or something. He'll wait till I'm done and be like, okay, what you got? Okay. You know, so everything I got, the vegan mac and cheese, all that stuff, the spaghetti and everything, he go hard on the greens. Okay. And then what he'll do is just put his chicken and mix that in with it and everything. But it's even gotten to the point where he'll be like, I don't even care for the meat. I'll just eat everything that you got. And then he'll have full-on vegan dinner. Okay. You know? No, he's never been tied to meat like that. And then, matter of fact, I want to say it's been over 2 to 3 years since he's had beef and pork. Pork has been a long time. We let that go years prior. But beef and bacon. Now if he has like pork bacon, it's if we're probably like eating out for breakfast somewhere, because that's what they have, because a lot of times they don't give you options. But at home for him, his diet is like turkey bacon with like, and he dropped eggs. And I thought he was an egg eater because I was an egg eater a lot. And I thought that when I stopped that he would continue, but he was like, I don't even want that anymore. So I want to say it's been almost a year with no eggs. He hasn't bought any eggs at all. So he's slowly but surely doing his own thing. I want to say that I think he felt a little distant from me as I continued this lifestyle, because it was one less thing we had in common. Right. So I think it kind of like tripped him up a little bit, but he was all right. Yeah. We no arguments or nothing like that about it. But now since the recent documentary on Netflix, The Game Changer, with athletic people being plant-based, because I think he considers himself to be an athletic person, which he is. Basketball every Saturday. He's been doing that since I've known him. Working out every day on lunch, still does that. So he's very athletic and loves to work out. And I think with him trying the plant-based, he want to give that a go to see how he feels there. So yeah, it's been good. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, goals.
So how do you come up with your recipes for your food? Because I was on your Instagram. What's your Instagram, by the way?
Instagram is SiahMom6, SIAHMOM6, or it's the same name on Facebook, because somehow I created a Facebook page with that name after getting a certain amount of followers. And then I have another Facebook page, which is my name, Kandance Jackson, KANDANCE, Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Jackson. Like Michael Jackson. So, you know, check sister out. You know what I'm saying?
Had to do that shameless plug.
Get your questions, you know what I'm saying?
Shameless plug in there real quick.
Your feedback, you know. What you think?
So, right, how do you just, like, have an idea in your head and you like, damn, that sounds good, I want to make that?
Yeah, let me tell you what I actually did. Okay. So, I wanted egg rolls. And I absolutely love, like, Asian food, Indian food, like, just, I love food in general. But those are, like, the ones that excite me the most. Okay. So, it's been a while since I had, like, a stir fry and things like that. So I went to Whole Foods and I found that there is vegan egg rolls. And there are also
like the wraps.
The wraps.
Okay.
Yep. And they also have vegan wontons too.
Oh wow.
Where you can stuff those with like an almond milk ricotta or something like that, or you can actually use like artichokes because they use that as like a crab substitute.
Wow.
And they'll put that in the middle, or there's actually a substitute of like shrimp that you can cook up and put in the middle of the wontons, deep fry it, all kinds of stuff, girl.
Damn.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's your recipe right there, you know? So I actually was sitting at home because I love breakfast. And I was like, wait a minute. I have these egg roll wraps here. I don't want them to go bad. And I ended up making a breakfast egg roll. And I've never seen a breakfast egg roll before. Don't go stealing my stuff.
Oh, shit. Copyright it.
Don't go stealing my stuff. And it was vegan egg, mushrooms, onions, and I want to say I kept it simple with that.
Okay.
But you basically cook everything, put it in the egg roll, wrap it up, because the egg roll doesn't take that long.
Okay.
To with a little nice little sit in the fry real quick, or you can bake it, but I like the fry because it's quicker.
And it's crunchy.
And it's crunchy.
Like
you know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Yep. Well, that's what you want. So I did that, and it was like, what? And then you can put sriracha sauce on top. Sometimes when I used to eat, the regular chicken egg, I would put pico de gallo on top with cheese. And so
I love pico de gallo on anything.
Man, I'm telling you.
On everything.
So I did the same thing because pico de gallo is just, your tomatoes, your onion, your lime juice.
Yes,
sometimes people put garlic in it. And I put that on top of my vegan eggs. And then I decided to try it on the egg roll. So it was like this Mexican Asian fusion type of scenario I had going on. Bomb.
I'm intrigued. That sounded good as fuck.
Thanks. You know what I'm saying?
That sounded good as hell.
Thank you.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to stop by and come get some. You feel me?
Definitely need to stop by. Okay, that's what's up. So I feel like, you just sit there and think like, I want this. I could use this for that, this for that, this for that. So when you really find substitutes, it's easier to kind of make recipes.
Yeah, because I feel like when it comes to the average diet that 90% of people have, I think you get limited.
Okay.
Unless you're truly invested in it like a chef, where you really have the opportunity to sit down with the chicken and be like, what can I do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you're on the fly and you're like plants on top of plants on top of plants with a little bit of fruit on the side or something, it starts to get to a point where, you can do anything. So yeah, I could have stuffed it with like mac and cheese. I could have stuffed it with apples, and did like a caramel apple in the middle of the egg roll. Never seen that.
Don't go stealing that shit either.
Don't go stealing. I mean, yeah, you got your apple turnovers, but did you put it in the egg roll? Did you think about an apple wonton with the ricotta cheese?
Fine.
Because you can't have apples and cheese together.
You can.
But you ain't think about that. I did. And it's on record. So
don't go steal this idea.
Don't go stealing my ideas.
Don't steal it.
So that's why around here in the Lake County area, I think a lot of people have started to label me as the vegan chef around here because I just have a passion for it.
Yeah.
I just love what I'm doing. I get excited, and then it's like I'll talk to my husband and be like, "Oh, babe, you know what I could do right now? Oh, you know what we could do? We could do like." You know what I mean? Like one thing that I thought about that I'm actually gonna try is coconut tea. I've never heard of coconut tea before.
Either.
I know.
Wow.
See what I mean?
That do sound good though. I like coconuts. I like
coconut too. But like instead of buying like the container,
Like real coconut?
Like, I only drink real coconut. And I use my cleaver. You know, I got to get
the shavings,
that hammer, you know.
And knock it open?
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta order that off of Amazon. But, you know, I do have a cleaver that I use to, like, pop it open. And then I strain the water out. And sometimes me and my daughter would just drink the water fresh. Because, you know, coconut water has more electrolytes than water. So you actually get more hydration out of coconut water than you do regular water. So sometimes I'll mix my coconut water with water and add a little lime juice to that, a little agave, and then I have like this really nice coconut limey sweet drink. You know, but I still have my hydration because you know, you don't get that much coconut water out of a coconut.
Yeah.
So by stretching it and turning into a beverage of some sort this way, it's absolutely amazing.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So recipes just be flying.
Innovative. You be sleep like, oh shit, let me.
You know what?
I had this dream last night.
Yeah. You know what? Or I'll sit there and be like, oh, wait a minute. I could do, or I could do. And it's just,
that's what's up.
It's all over the place.
So your daughter, she ain't got no problem with the vegan. She's all with it.
All the way.
So from birth, you've been doing that?
Yeah, it was breastfeeding at first, and then we went into, as she started to get older, we went into purees, and I used to buy beech nut from Jewel. So they had like pureed, because I was a working mom. So they had like pureed butternut squash, pureed pears, or they'll do apple and avocado together. And, you know, it was easy for me to grab these jars.
Right.
And, you know, she can go in. And then as we got into the solids, we did green beans at first. So we did that in vegetable broth. And then from that point on, vegan all the way. Yep. Now it's, you know, there's sea moss and bladderwracks, which are seaweeds. Okay. And they give you, the sea moss gives you 92, your body has like 102 minerals, and the sea moss gives you 92 of those 102 minerals to feed the cells in the body. So this is what I'm giving my daughter in the morning in her strawberry mango smoothie. Okay. With the bladderwracks, which adds more minerals for the body. You could barely taste it. I mean, you could smell it. It smells fishy because. So what?
You said bladderwracks?
Yeah, bladderwrack. Okay. It's a seaweed. Okay. Yeah, but it's powder form. So I just scoop some and put it in, like anybody would do, like a protein powder.
Okay. You have other supplements? Well, it's not really a supplement, I should say, but that you add into. Like,
nope.
Just that's the only one.
Just sea moss and black, because other supplements are doing what they're called. They're supplementing for what you should really be consuming from a plant-based diet itself. You know what I mean? So I guess in my way, I sometimes consider myself to be an alchemist in a way, because I am intentionally putting certain things together for a reason. Just like the ginger shots we were talking about. I know why I'm putting each ingredient in there. I know what each ingredient does when I'm setting them up. And I know, you know, when I'm telling people what to do with the ginger shots, what the result is always different, because everybody is dealing with something different. Yeah. But in terms of the ingredient, what I'm doing and what it's used for, I got all of that like set up in a certain way.
That's lit.
Well, thanks.
Super lit.
Thanks.
Oh, you know? She gonna be older, and she just gonna be like, I've never ate any of this shit.
Listen, I'm trying to be
I've been great from the jump.
I'm trying to be that 75-year-old raw vegan woman out there. 100, you know what I'm saying?
100 years old.
I mean, listen, my mom always give me the joke, Candace, you gonna outlive everybody. You gonna be 200 years old talking about my grandkid, my great-great-great-great-great-grandkid. I'm like, you know what?
Fuck around.
Stop, Mom.
Fuck around.
You know.
That's a healthy living.
Yeah.
God willing. I'm happy my granny's still here, but my granny is almost 90 years old.
Yep. My grandma is 80. One of my grandmothers is 80. The other one is like 86. 87, I believe. Them two are like everything to me. Strong, beautiful black women, right? But what I noticed, even speaking on them, basically with the generational thing we were talking about, it gets to a point where you look at their life from your eyes, and then you listen to what they tell you, and how in relation it comes to food is they're both dealing with dementia. And then as I started to do more of my research, what I noticed is dementia come at you in all forms, right? Some of it could be the diet. Some of it could be that you lose interest in using your brain, you know, reading, things of that nature. But then some of it is like using aluminum foil, which has been linked to dementia. So it's like wrapping your food in foil and putting it in the oven, or aluminum in your deodorant. So I do use vegan deodorant that's aluminum free. And then aluminum has been linked to, because you have pores under your arms, that's how you sweat. So with them putting aluminum in your deodorant, basically me connecting the dots here is aluminum in the deodorant, going through the pores, hitting the breast cancer. Which is what one of my grandmothers just beat a few years back. You know what I mean? And then I noticed too, with even going back and changing my diet, that if I can go I don't, but I can go a whole day without using deodorant, and you would never know. Wow. I can probably even move around a little bit. Now running and working out, I'm a sweat. Yeah. I'm not finna play like I'm Superwoman. But a little moving around here and there throughout the day, doing the average, normal, everyday thing. I may perspire a little bit, but you wouldn't smell me. You wouldn't even know. And that was huge for me because that used to be an issue that I used to have. I was using men's degree deodorant because women's deodorant just wasn't enough for me. Oh, damn. You know what I mean? So to go from that to changing my diet and to drastically come back to the point where now I don't even really need deodorant if I don't want to wear it. I mean, that's crazy. Come on.
Because you stated, too, like, what, your breath doesn't smell as bad, and there's a lot of benefits that you've gotten, that you've seen physically.
Yeah, so my breath used to smell bad. I'm not even going to sit up here in front, okay, because I'm human like everyone else. My breath used to smell bad. My underarms used to be really bad. Those were my two biggest issues. What I found with other women around me was like, you know, everything sitting in the gut, and then eventually it comes out through, you know, the private area. You know, people with smelly feet. And then it got into other things, back pain, joint pain, mentally not being capable to really you know, grasp a hold of any type of a conversation, like just a cloud block, anything, you know. It's been, it's a lot, but I've seen a lot of change. Like I can hold things longer in terms of mentally remembering things. Okay. You know, remembering, it's like a bunch comes back to me from conversations I've had in the past when I was eating meat, to where sometimes it gets a little bit overwhelming, where I have to take a day where I just don't talk at all because it's so many memories and so much information that I have to just like, okay, let me go like meditate for a minute. I feel like mentally I'm doing too much. Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot of adjusting. It's a lot of changes, but all good stuff, because then you can use everything to your advantage. You know, I'm organized more. I'm punctual more. Not late anymore. Not dragging anymore. Not procrastinating. I'm on top of everything. And I'm thinking this is what everybody else was doing, but then I noticed that now with me making this switch, it's not even a lot of people doing this. Being organized and being prepared and being proactive instead of reactive, and just all these other things that you can use in your day-to-day at work, at home, when an issue pops up. So overall, the diet changes every aspect of your life. Everything.
Thanks.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
Felt that.
Thanks.
So I'm going to do some quick trivia.
Okay.
Cause you the guru up in here.
Well, thanks. And you gotta try my food too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that's next. Don't even worry about that. We're gonna do that next.
Okay, cool.
So I just got like a quick couple questions. Okay. Cause I don't know shit about shit, but I thought I'd ask you.
All right. Cool.
So, which vegetable is best for digestion?
Papaya. Oh. And people don't like papaya.
I think I've only had papaya once in my life.
Yep. People don't like papaya because it's not full of sugar and it's not really sweet. But it is the best. It actually helps with acid reflux. It helps with just overall everything. But a lot of people don't go for it. And actually, it's really good for you because you could take the papaya seeds out the middle because black pepper itself is bad for the thyroid. So I make my own papaya pepper.
Oh,
so
wow.
I scoop the papaya seeds out the middle of the papaya and I'll just make like a papaya smoothie and add maybe some mango or something to it to sweeten it up a little more. But then the papaya seeds, I'll take that, put it in the oven, dry them out on like 250, and then put them in my blender and blend them up really fine. And I got papaya pepper. And you would think that there was pepper on something you ate, and it's papaya seeds.
Damn.
And papaya seeds actually help you get rid of parasites, which everybody who has ever had meat has. Well, any food has parasites. Yeah, because there some, but some are worse than others. You know what I mean? So we all need to do a little detoxing per se. But yes, papaya seeds help get rid of parasites.
Damn, I'm gonna go home and just be like, I'm fucked up right now. Like, I'm fucked up right now. So what fruit has the most vitamin C?
I think the orange, like everybody speaks on.
It's actually kiwi.
Really? I don't eat kiwis.
I actually love kiwi. I never knew that kiwis actually have more vitamin C in them than the orange.
Really?
Which I did not know.
I didn't know that either.
But I don't like oranges. I'd eat a kiwi before I eat an orange. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I'm one of those like apple juice people when it comes to orange juice and apple juice. Like, I like apple juice.
Oh, I like apple juice too, but I like orange juice though too. But kiwis, I don't go looking for those.
I love kiwis
at all.
And
but now I am a fig person. I like fig and I like dates.
I like dates too.
Yeah,
I'll fuck some dates up.
Cashew butter in the middle of them dates. Take the pit out though, you know.
True.
Yeah,
True.
And then just go in. Yeah.
Well, this is easy. What percentage of watermelon is water?
All of it. Like most of it. Like
pretty much 92%.
Yeah.
Most of it.
Yeah.
Most of it. I love watermelon.
Yeah, with the black seeds in them. Not seedless.
Yeah, not seedless.
Please,
I'll just spit them out.
Please.
I'll just spit them out.
Not seedless. Okay. There's the whole point of seeds, as Dr. Sebi, you know what I'm saying? Rest in power, Baba Sebi. You know what I mean? As he has spoken for years and years since the 80s. He's always said that you want to eat things with seeds in them. But then I don't know if he's ever said this, but the way I took it was like, okay, that makes sense, because if we were in a world where we needed to continue to live every day and grow our own food, we can continue to reproduce with the seed.
Right.
You can't do that if it doesn't have a seed in it.
Facts.
So why would you eat it?
That's
and as women, we have a seed. We need like something planted for us to produce a seed. You know what I mean? With your children. I mean, you just got to read nature for what it is.
Right.
You know? That's just also like, I tell people all the time that when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you should do after you brush your teeth is drink room temperature water. And the reason why that is because you need to turn your organs on to get them started. Because in the middle of the night and at night, your body is healing. So it's working while you're asleep. Because you're not moving, so it's able to just process everything. That's why when you get up in the morning, you got to use the bathroom, right? So then the next thing you do is you want to brush your teeth and then drink room temperature water. Essentially, what that does is start them up to get ready for whatever's coming next. You know what I mean? And I was like, but people want to go straight for the sugar, the juice, or the coffee, or the meats, or the dairy, and stuff like that. So off top, what you're gonna do is like turn your dishwasher on with no dishes in it. You know what I mean?
Or just pile on stuff that's not on, like you trying to
just doing
stuff. Because I've noticed too, for me, like I've tried to like breakfast, I don't know. I used to like breakfast a lot and eat like heavy breakfast, but like I find myself now just eating smaller amounts in the morning. Like I don't even be that hungry for real in the morning, but I'm I'm growling, so I'm like, damn, let me eat some. But I try to eat smaller shit. Like I try to eat fruit in the morning. Or I'm a bread fanatic, so I eat a lot of toasts and croissants. I'm sorry.
No, you.
I can't. I love bread, but yeah, like I don't try to eat no meat before a certain time because I'm still about that life. Okay. But I just feel like it's heavy early in the morning like that anyway.
Yeah, the meat and the breads are definitely a heavy start. Because I used to wonder why pancakes always felt so heavy to me so early in the morning when I was eating those.
Yeah, facts.
With the old way, with the milk and eggs and everything. I just never liked pancakes that early. So yes, you definitely want to start with water, and then you want to go with a smoothie or a smoothie bowl. So you can make your smoothie, pour it into a bowl, put your papita seeds, which are pumpkin seeds, on top. You can put, some people like coconut shavings, some people like all different types of like fresh fruit that they'll put on there, and they'll eat it like that. And that's even been feeling for me better than oatmeal sometimes.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And then later on in the day, after having something like that, then I'll go for a heavy lunch, but in terms of breakfast and fruit, fruit is good in the morning because fruit detoxifies the body naturally. So you definitely want to start with a fruit before a piece of bread.
Right. I'm gonna work on that. I eat them both, but I'm working on that.
Yeah. All good.
What veggie promotes and stimulates hair growth?
Wait a minute. What veggie stimulates hair growth? I don't know. But first thing that pops in my mind is greens.
Greens too. Yeah. But I actually saw somewhere that said sweet potatoes.
I don't know about that.
And I was like, But like the actual potato, in itself, cooked, unseasoned.
Right.
They're saying either boil it or bake it unseasoned.
And then you can
ingest it. You can put it on your hair, and that's supposed to help stimulate hair growth. I never know.
Okay, so here's where I've been learning so far, right? So my opinion, I'm gonna opt out on the potatoes and the sweet potatoes because they're both full of starch and sugar. And it just doesn't take my mind to growth from them. I would go more towards Ayurvedic herbs such as henna or alma or fenugreek. Herbs that actually, because you got to remember when it comes to hair growth, it's skin up there. So you're opening follicles for hair to come out. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you are massaging your scalp. Make sure that, of course, we're greasing our scalps with good oils. I like to use jojoba oil. I actually create my own like whipped shea butter for my hair, where I'm adding aloe vera juice, jojoba oil, and shea butter. I melt the shea butter down, and then I'll wash me and my daughter's hair, and then 2-strand twist just all over the hair with the little mixture that I make, because I put it in the refrigerator and let it solidify first, and then use that. Yeah, and that has stopped dandruff, itching of the scalp, things like that, which are both signs of inflammation. And then sometimes tea tree oil is good.
Yeah, I like tea tree. I like grapeseed oil too.
Yep, grapeseed oil is good as well. So I would go more that route. I've even seen some women use rice water.
I tried, but that shit smells horrible as fuck. And I just could not do it. Yeah. But I've heard that is really one of the best things to do.
Possibly. But rice reminds me of another sugar. You know what I mean?
True.
So it's like, because here's the thing that I think a lot of people should pay attention to as well, right? Again, making things complicated, but it can all be so simple. Lauryn Hill, you know what I mean? So it's like, when it comes to the body and everything, like when we talked, I said, oh yeah, I have vegan foundation, vegan lipstick, and I have vegan eye mascara on, because your skin is the biggest organ on the body. So whatever it is that you're doing inside, it affects the outside. Whatever you're doing on the outside affects the inside. So yes, environment, what you listen to, turning the news on in the morning, first thing in the morning, when you probably would be better off listening to monks chant, you know, chanting like that, or doing like some like lounge music in the morning, like ease your way into your morning. Why does it have to be so vibrant, so dramatic? You didn't wake up like that. You know what I mean? So just as much as what it is on the inside, it's that much on the outside as well. That's why I would go with the Ayurvedic herbs, something that where herbs are healers overall. You know, like I talked about the sea moss and bladderwrack. There's also burdock root, which is a tea that I like to drink. Or dandelion root is my absolute favorite. That is a coffee.
Dandelion root?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, it's a coffee replacement. And it's also like a diuretic, so it makes you like go to the bathroom. It kind of does some smooth detoxing, should I say? But it's absolutely amazing. Elderberry tea, which is another herb. But elderberry is good for right now in the winter season where everybody's getting sick right now.
Okay.
Yeah, all around the office. But you'll never catch me getting sick because I'm either having my elderberry tea or I'm drinking a ginger shot. So I think herbs are key to healing and to growth. So anytime you want to do any of that, look for herbs, because those are where the power happens. With minerals, the vitamins, and everything that you're looking for, herbs.
Okay. Thanks.
You're so silly.
What is the most eaten veggie in the world?
Probably the potato.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Anybody can go in. French fries, scalloped potatoes.
I just love mashed.
Mashed.
I like them all.
Yeah.
I don't have a favorite. Damn it. They're all fucking good. Well, I want to try this food.
Okay, cool. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
She brought some foods in. About to try it. I'm about to try it, y'all.
That's so funny. Okay.
I'm excited.
So I have here some vegan mac and cheese. You can see that. And some fried oyster mushrooms that have the texture of chicken.
Okay.
And I flavored it with seasoning like it's chicken. The flour that I used was chickpea flour. And I used almond milk to get the batter going and put my seasonings in that. And I actually used, the seasonings are like rosemary, thyme, garlic powder, onion powder, black lava salt, because I like that over pink salt. Yeah. So let me know what you think.
First off, smells good as hell.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honest opinion. Like, I need honest.
No, this is good.
You like it?
Mm-hmm. This a mushroom?
That's a mushroom. That's the oyster mushroom. Yep. You're so silly.
I ain't gonna lie to you. You did that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. I'm just enjoying that this is a mushroom.
Yep. It's a mushroom. Yep. Now, sometimes it's like a little fatty, kind of like the chicken too. So I kind of like that a little bit about it.
Yes.
Yep. You going in.
I can't believe this is a mushroom, y'all. I can't believe it.
Yep.
It's good as hell.
Thank you.
And it's seasoned good.
Yes. Flavor.
It smells like chicken though. Yes. That's crazy. Like, you know, you got that smell when you fry the chicken. Damn, I need a fork. Let me be ghetto with it.
You so silly. And just go in. Yeah, that's all you. I ate. So that's all you.
All right.
So that's the vegan mac and cheese. So
mac and cheese.
The pasta that I used is chickpea pasta. And you know, of course, the mac and cheese or the cheese is vegan with almond milk. I put a little onion, celery, and onion and celery in there too, just to give it a little bit more crunch, a little bit. So yeah.
Okay, bitch. I see you.
Look.
can't believe this is a damn mushroom.
Yep. Oyster mushroom.
I cannot believe it. 5.
Yep. Oyster mushrooms.
This is fire, dude.
Thank
For
you.
real.
Thank you. And then if you have my strawberry mango juice that I make with it.
I want that too.
I mean, or if that was like a oyster mushroom like sandwich, sometimes I'll take the mushrooms, fry them up like that, and then toss them in some buffalo sauce, and then make them into a sandwich. I like pretzel bread, so sometimes I'll do the vegan pretzel bread with like maybe some vegan provolone cheese, and with that either toss in some buffalo sauce, or I'll just put like lettuce, tomato, onion in the sandwich with the cheese and the pretzel bread with that, and then do like a vegan chipotle sauce that I like to put on top. Yeah, I go hard.
Oh my God.
Yep.
You said this what type of mushroom?
Oyster mushroom.
Oyster mushroom.
Yep. So you have oyster mushrooms. You have king oyster mushrooms where you can actually cook them up like ribs with barbecue sauce. You have lion's mane mushrooms, which are quite like meaty.
Damn,
fatty.
it is hella mushroom variations.
Yep. You have chanterelle mushrooms. You have lobster mushrooms, which actually look like the color of lobsters. You can put like seaweed on them called dulce, D-U-L-C-E. I believe I'm saying it right.
Okay.
Or wakame. Those are different like fishy seaweeds that you can put on there, sprinkle them on there. Or kelp, K-E-L-P. And then you'll get your fish taste on the mushroom. You could do all kind of stuff. That's why I was so fascinated once I really perfected being vegan with my food. It's because it's like everything that you normally would eat that you go to look for, plants do react the same way. So I'm not missing anything because plants do everything that the animal products and dairy products do. You just got to know what you need to make what you need. Yep. Going in.
Yes. I am shocked. Y'all don't even understand. I'm tearing these mushrooms up.
Now, just imagine if you had the vegan greens and you had like the dressing that I made from Thanksgiving, or with the fresh cranberry sauce, and I added a little bit of ground masala, which is kind of like a curry kind of spice that normally people who are from India use that in their curries.
Okay.
I put a little bit of that in my cranberry sauce, and it was like phenomenal.
Wow. I am shocked.
Yep.
That is lit as hell. Like, damn.
Thank you.
Okay. And you have an event coming up too?
Yes. So I'm very excited.
Shit.
So the name of this event is called, it's December 21st from 6 to 8. And it's called Salamu Malkia. It's Candy Treats presents Salamu Malkia, which means greetings, queen, in Swahili. And I wanted to take it there because I wanted to greet my queens from the original language, or one of the original languages, right? I think when it comes to tone and texture in words that we use, it brings forth an energy, and that's the energy that I want to bring to that event. It's basically 5 women coming in and having a sit down with me, asking all of your questions, answering all of your questions for you with the whole vegan scenario. But then I'm looking for results. Okay. The networking, the healing, the crying if we have to, you know, and the experience of like just a new way of understanding. Not even understanding, because I don't even like using that word. Understanding, which is understanding the why, and overstanding, which is understanding the total big picture of life itself. You know what I mean? So I just want us to come together, network, grow a sisterhood, and really, you know, tap in, get in tune, you know? But I wanted to share my world with 5 ladies who don't see it from my point of view being plant-based, but then at the same time, you know, me actually romanticizing, I would say taking a romantic approach to women and nurturing them, and just, you know, because we all need that, you know. So let's just open our heart chakras and take that approach and just dive in with some healthy food so we can open our minds and be all the way there. It's going to be vegan food, vegan wine, gift bags, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, snap.
I got a whole decor set up.
That's what's up.
I got my sister who's an event planner helping me with it.
Okay.
So I'm looking for you guys to experience. I'm not just looking for a couple of women to come to my house or come to my area and have a time with me. I'm looking for you guys to have an experience. So that's how we take it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be there. So you guys know I'm going to, you know, give you a review on that because I'm super excited. Super duper excited. Damn. Well, what is some advice you would have for anybody that's on the teeter-tatter of the vegan life?
So what I have in terms of some advice is to do your research and understand why you're doing what you're looking to get into. Because it's easy for anybody to say it. You know what I mean? I was just listening to Eric Thompson on his podcast, and one of the things he said was so profound. He said that a lot of people like to mentally masturbate. Which means they like to romanticize about the idea of being successful in something they really want to do, and that satisfies them enough to where they don't even go and actually apply. You know what I mean? But I'm asking for anyone that wants to do plant-based to actually take one step at a time, because everybody's journey is different, and just apply what you want, what you see yourself doing. Okay. You know? But open your mind to it all. Don't be judgmental. Right. Just keep a clear mind, because you'd be surprised when there's no judgment. Yeah. You'd be surprised when there's no expectation, and you'd be surprised when there's no assumption. Because expectations and assumptions always lead people down. Because if you were expecting that to be like the chicken you normally would eat, you probably wouldn't even like it.
You're right, and you're exactly right. I just erased all expectations when you put it out. When you told me already what it was, I already put it out in my head what I thought it was gonna be.
Right.
I had to just
accept.
Yes.
Just
big
accept.
Facts. Big facts.
Yep. Because I think we limit ourselves when we set ourselves up with expectations and assumptions on anything in life. You know, that's like if I'm having a conversation with you and based off of, before I even speak to you and have a conversation, I already have a perception. Yeah. You know what I mean? Rather than just keeping an open mind and letting you introduce yourself to me with no expectation or assumption of the type of person you are, it's easier for me to accept because you're going to tell me who you are. Right. Just like the food, it's going to tell you about itself, you know? And then what I've learned by going plant-based is that life itself will unlock so much to you without expectation and assumption, that you will just be like, what? And then I just had to start saying that I'm the best. I'm the greatest. I'm great at anything I do, because nature and a plant-based diet overall, just being connected with it, has just opened endless opportunity for anything I choose to do. And I'm gonna be great. I'm gonna be great at anything and everything I do. And it starts with, for me, it started with a diet. For somebody else, it could be this conversation we're having. You know what I mean? But check me out on Saya Mom 6, you know, or Kandance Jackson. Tune in, ask your questions, DM, you know. I have a schedule page if you want a consultation. We could do a video over the phone, face to face, if you in Illinois, because, you know, unless you're going to pay for me to travel. Okay. Anyway,
yes, that's what Miss Goddess Vegan, yes. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming on. You dropped some knowledge today.
Thank you.
Definitely dropped some knowledge. I definitely appreciate everything that you said. You know, I was talking a little bit before. I don't know if I'm ready for the vegan life, but I know I want to change my diet. I know there's things that I want to start implementing now. Right. And listening to you just talk about your journey, talk about how you create things and how you're supplementing things, it makes it more realistic. It makes it more possible to do. Yes. And that's why I really wanted to talk to you, because I was just like, I need to hear somebody who was on, you know, living that life all this time up and forward, you know, and then made the transition. How was it for you? So I'm happy that you really went into detail on that. That's I really like that. I really like that.
Thank you very much. You know? It's very easy, but I'm not going to give anyone recipes or any impossible thing unless you want to make it from scratch.
Okay.
Because in my world, the direction and the audience I'm going with is the everyday working person. Right? We don't all have time to make vegan cheese.
Definitely don't.
Vegan cheese from scratch to put on our mac and cheese. We all don't have time to. So where are the shortcuts? Where are the products that I can buy? And I had to literally go around and search because I didn't have anyone to teach me. I had to do my own research, figure it out, and then as I started to post and create, everybody started asking questions. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, this is too much. Which got me to where I am today, talking to you today.
Well, that's what's up.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
You know.
Well, as always, appreciate you guys for tuning in with me on Pillow Talk Podcast.
Yeah.
Page is up, back and running. Follow, subscribe, like, share. Tell your friend, tell your mama to tell her daddy to like my shit.
Like my shit.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in with me. Peace out.
Peace. Yeah.